So because Israel's in Eurovision, you're boycotting?
Yeah.
Yuval Raphael. She managed to survive by hiding under a dead body in a bomb shelter for 8 hours. And she is Israel's representative.
You, mate. Israel, free Palestine.
We're in London for the first Eurovision semi-final. However, this year's competition is more than just about sequins and song. It's been rocked by calls to ban Israel, the world's only Jewish state, from the competition, following its war against Hamas. Somewhat ironically, Eurovision's theme this year is Unity Shapes Love. At the same time, Israel's National Security Council has issued a warning to Jews and Israelis visiting Switzerland to avoid displaying Jewish or Israeli symbols for their own safety. This warning becomes all the more chilling given that Israel's Eurovision representative is Yuval Raphael, a survivor of the 7th of October Nova Music Festival massacre, where 364 people were murdered. Yuval only managed to survive by hiding under a dead body in a bomb shelter for 8 long hours. Whilst all this is going on, Hamas still holds 58 hostages captive in Gaza. That's why I've got with me yellow ribbons, a symbol of solidarity for the hostages and their families. So we're going to see what Eurovision fans make of all this. Hopefully we'll have some interesting conversations and even hand out a pin or two. Both Eurovision fans?
We are, yes.
Rooting for the UK?
No.
Who are you rooting for?
Australia! We heard their song the other day.
Oh my goodness, wow. I think this is treason, I think.
Sorry, okay.
I've been a massive Eurovision fan my whole life, but it's time to boycott and to do the right thing.
There are some people this year calling for Israel to be kicked out of Eurovision. Is that something you would support or no?
No, definitely against them kicking it out. I don't see the point for it. It doesn't align with my views as well, so I don't.
Yeah.
No, against it.
I do support that, yeah. They shouldn't be allowed to participate in events like that, where everyone's like voting for them, showing support for different countries.
Absolutely not. Eurovision is about song and creativity and expression. It's about promoting young people.
I can understand why people want to do that, but I would not support it.
I think leave politics out of music, do you know what I mean? Music is music, it should be free.
Do you echo that?
I mean, I think Eurovision's quite a political event anyway. I agree with you. I think we should keep the arts as the arts and politics as politics, and it should just be kept separate because, people will disagree all the time, but I think one reason that people unite in different languages, different cultures is through music, through the arts, we're artists ourselves, so we totally get it.
So because Israel's in Eurovision, you're boycotting?
Yeah, I'm boycotting.
Is that the same for both of you?
No, sir, never. Never watched Eurovision.
Never watched Eurovision. So you're not even boycotting, you're just like, I was never in it.
Boycotting it my whole life.
Okay, fair enough. If it were up to you, would Israel be allowed to be included?
I'm not really sure, honestly. I see both sides. I don't want to lean towards the side because I'm not really involved.
No, that's wrong. That should be just based on talent, on the voice, on the vocals. I think that's wrong. No, we should let the people speak and let the voices sing. It's about Eurovision, it's about freedom, it's about expression.
Personally, I think it's wrong to kick anybody out of it, just because the whole point of Eurovision is to everyone to come together, everyone to, celebrate peace and joy, and it's about the music, it's about a community, it's not about politics, in my opinion.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Since they've let Israel be in, I don't watch it as much.
You're boycotting?
Kind of. If you're going to kick out Russia, it would only be fair to kick out Israel.
Can I ask why you sort of draw that parallel between Russia and Israel?
They both have done bad things and invade. I don't know if I'd call it an invasion, but invaded, I guess, yeah. I
would say that one difference is that Russia invaded Ukraine, whereas Israel's response is in retaliation to Hamas invading Israel on the 7th of October. This year's representative for Israel, her name is Yuval Raphael, and she was a survivor of the 7th of October Nova Festival massacre. And 364 people were murdered. She managed to survive by hiding under a dead body in a bomb shelter for 8 hours. My question is, do you think she should be allowed to sing this year?
I think what happened to her is really, really tragic, and I can't imagine the trauma that she must be living because of it. But no, I don't think she should be allowed to sing, and that's not a representation of her. It's a representation of her government's actions. Unfortunately, Israel is committing a genocide, so that whole state should not be allowed to participate.
Yuval Raphael. She managed to survive by hiding under a dead body in a bomb shelter for 8 hours, and she is Israel's representative. What do you think about that? Is there something to be said about the courage that takes?
I think it definitely takes a whole lot of courage, and it's a shame to do that and then not be able to represent your country in such a big event as Eurovision. So I think, yeah, for sure, she should be allowed to go. She should be allowed to represent her country and do what she loves to do, you know?
This is a young person, a young talent. She should be allowed to express herself and to sing. And that's what Eurovision's all about. It's about peace, it's about harmony, it's about love, and she should be allowed to sing.
Did you know that she's actually the survivor of a terrorist attack?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I heard that on the radio. All the more that she should be allowed to express herself, because the emotion will come out in how she sings. And I'm really, really looking forward to hearing her sing.
She also said that she has pretended to have lots of people boo her, so she's prepared for being booed, which is so unfair. So unfair.
To me, we're all the same. It doesn't matter where we come from or our ethnicities or our skin color or anything. We're all humans, we're all people. So we should have unity with each other and try and help each other, not try and discriminate.
Israel's National Security Council warned Jews and Israelis visiting Switzerland to hide Israeli and Jewish symbols for their own safety. How do you think they have?
No, yes, they have. Yes, I read that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We should all be able to go about our lives being proud of the countries we come from. People from Israel should be proud of the country where they are from and should celebrate Eurovision.
Why do you think Israel has felt the need to issue this sort of warning to Jewish people?
Are there people after Jewish people attacking them based on their faith or?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Israel feels that anti-Semitism is at such a level. That they feel the need to issue a warning.
Not everybody is going to be tolerant. Unfortunately, you know, there are people who see political views and take that to heart and do wrong things about it instead of just allowing people to live their life and be free in what religion they should be celebrating.
Anti-Semitism is on the rise in Europe in general. It's understandable to try and be safe and not perhaps show too much.
Jews all over the world are being told to hide their identity.
Yeah, it is pretty shocking to see it.
People should be allowed to be who they are, wherever they are.
How do you think this might make Jewish people feel?
I'd imagine it can make a person feel quite diminished, and to not be allowed to express something that is a part of yourself can make you feel quite isolated. It can make you feel like you should be ashamed of it almost, and it's just not right, really.
I agree completely. I also think it's quite admirable of the government to warn Jews, because if they were subject to any kind of hate crime because of symbols that were on display, I think that would have been equally as terrible. Obviously, it's their discretion, and I would always encourage people to be themselves, but also, look out for yourselves, guys. It's a dangerous time. It's a dangerous time.
People are people, but they shouldn't judge them, whether they're Israeli, Jewish, Muslims. They just shouldn't judge them.
Do you feel that Israel's actions are comparable to that of the Holocaust?
Absolutely.
I think a lot of Jews would find that somewhat offensive, and I think some might even say that's anti-Semitic.
I think there are also a lot of Jews who believe in a free Palestine and think that Zionism isn't okay.
Polling has shown that 80% of Jews in Britain identify as Zionists. I mean, by citing those who don't, there's sort of a sense of siding with the fringe Jewish community rather than the majority.
I side with the side that doesn't believe in dead children.
I understand your position. Nevertheless, this year's Eurovision theme is Unity Shapes Love. So in that vein, we're offering people pins to show their solidarity with the remaining hostages being held by Hamas. I'd like to offer you a pin.
Fuck you, mate. Fuck Israel, free Palestine.
I'd like to offer you both to take one.
Perfect, man.
Thank you very much.
I'll wear it with pride.
Yeah, nice one. Nice.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Yes?
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Would
you.
you say that the pin also represents solidarity with the families of the people in Gaza?
So, no, there are separate initiatives for that, but this one is specifically for the hostages. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to offer you a pin if you'd like to take one.
I mean, I appreciate the sentiment and I hope they get home safe, but I can't take one, I'm afraid.
Can I ask why?
Because the way I align with the whole thing, I wouldn't feel like I could do that, I'm afraid. Sorry.
I'd like to offer you a pin if you would like one.
I'm sorry, I don't think I would take it.
Okay, can I ask why?
I'm just very uncomfortable with siding, especially since I know there's always two sides to something. I'm not really on the side of anyone. I'm just on the side of not killing people and peace.
Yeah.
And I think both sides have something positive and negative to them, and I'm just not comfortable siding.
That's absolutely fine. But would it change anything if I said that this isn't really to do with the Israeli government? This is just to show support for the hostages in captivity?
I feel like if I wanted to support the hostages in captivity, I would want it to be able to be generalizable. So I'm not really comfortable with supporting something that's niche to a group when there's more groups suffering.
I'm happy to take one, thank you. I'm not necessarily going to wear it, but I'm certainly not going to throw it away.
I'd like to offer you one if you would like to take.
Of course.
Yeah?
Thank you.
You know, there are some people we've spoken to who have refused to take them. What do you make about that? Lost for words.
No words for it. This thing shouldn't even exist. People being taken hostage and terrorism and all this stuff. Like, what's the point of it? I'm not into politics, so I can't talk about it from that perspective, but just from a kind of human solidarity kind of thing, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wear it.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would appreciate that, yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I wish them all the best and I hope they are released as soon as possible.
So, as we've seen tonight, Eurovision is no longer just about songs and votes. For many, it's much more than that. While there are still some who imbibe the spirit of Eurovision, for others, it seems that their disdain for the world's only Jewish state has clouded their judgment and made them lose sight of their own humanity. Eurovision season is underway and passions are high. But as Jews know full well, passions can very quickly turn to hostility, leaving Jews once again in the firing line.